Crazy Convos with Meself, Episode 1. How come the Philippines doesn't improve in prosperity? By Shaggy the Hybrid and Gloating Go Guy. The reasons as to why the Philippines doesn't improve in prosperity are because of the two following points. 1. Political issues. 2. Negative mentality and behavior of the masses. For number 1, political issues, we have corruption, unitary state government, and use of unclean energy. For number 2, we have dependent on God, government, relatives abroad, Philippines. Dismay and laziness, gullibility of mainstream and social media, regionalism or tribalism, personal debt, and big spenders. My solutions for them are 1. Political issues. Anti-corruption watchdog agencies to battle against corruption. Federalism instead of unitary state government. Investing in cleaner or renewable energy instead of the use of unclean energy. For number 2, we have self-sufficiency in response to dependent on God, government, relatives abroad, Philippines. Motivation and diligence to battle against dismay and laziness. Discernment in regards to gullibility of mainstream media or social media. Humanism instead of regionalism or tribalism. And mandatory financial literacy for those who have personal debt or are big spenders. My solutions to political issues include corruption. In order to combat corruption, some countries have what they call anti-corruption watchdog agencies that help combat corruption within a government through its investigative power. For unitary states, the Philippines should transition into federal states that will equally divide power within the country, with federal, states, and local governments, as opposed to the old unitary state form of government where the central government is supreme. Use of unclean energy. Investing in cleaner and renewable energies such as solar panels, solar farms, rainwater tanks, and rainwater harvesting. In response to negative mentality and behaviors of the masses, the solution to dependency on God, government, and relatives abroad Philippines is self-sufficiency. Most people in the Philippines rely on God, the government, and relatives abroad that country. Being self-sufficient is the answer to this issue rather than being dependent on the help of others in most cases. Sure, prayers are helpful spiritually, but prayers alone are not enough to improve the overall well-being of life. People must also work hard and live up to that prayer rather than merely relying on God himself. Same for relying upon and complaining to the government, including the reliance of handouts from relatives abroad believing they are millionaires once they are abroad the Philippines. In response to dismay and laziness, motivation and diligence is the answer. Most Filipinos are in dismay or are lazy. My solution to dismay and laziness is motivation and diligence. For example, greatest Filipino boxer Manny Pacquiao was from a poor family, but since he worked hard, he was rewarded for his hard work. If Filipinos had the same mentality and worked diligently like Manny, then sure, the Philippines will improve in prosperity. The solution to gullibility of mainstream media and social media is discernment. Filipinos are one of the most gullible people. This is apparent in the use of social media and consumption of mainstream media. They are quick to believe anything they witness on these platforms. They take it as it is without question. My solution to this is to discern for what is true and what is false. The solution to regionalism and tribalism is humanism. Clearly, there is internalized discrimination between Filipinos, as most Filipinos know that Philippines is home to countless ethnic groups ranging from Tagalogs, Visayans, Aitas, etc. We must erase this sense of regionalism and tribalism amongst ourselves and unite as one for the betterment of humanity. The solution to personal debt and big spenders in the Philippines is to create a mandatory financial literacy subject, which include, firstly, banking of personal, partner, family finance, personal credit, and credit cards. Secondly, taxation. Thirdly, vehicle registration. Fourthly, loaning of vehicle, student, and home. 5 is insurance of health, vehicle, home, and life. And 6th, but not least, is social security. In conclusion, the solution to political issues in the Philippines are anti-corruption watchdog agencies, federalism, investing in cleaner renewable energy, and the solutions to negative mentality and behavior of the masses include self-sufficiency, motivation and diligence, discernment, humanism, and mandatory financial literacy. Bonus quotes in response to how come the Philippines doesn't improve in prosperity. Quote 1. What does it mean to be a Filipino? What does it mean to be an American? What does it mean to be an Australian? Loses its meaning, which goes for the same as what does it mean to be human? One may argue Filipinos are good fighters and beautiful, but are dumb and stupid, which can be said for the same for humanity. Sure, we are great warriors and beautiful, but we sure as hell primitive. Shaggy 2020. Quote 2. One major issue is the fact that change starts with us, the people, and not at the top. It starts at the bottom. For example, if there was a storm and the house didn't have good foundations, then of course the house will break because of the storm, as strong roofing alone will not support it. Shaggy 2020.